So you decided to mix it all up this week, huh? Do something different? Decided to change everything around a little bit?
Hi, hun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, last week we made love before the podcast.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did that morning. We
right.
made love. And then this week you decided.
And you got it last night, and now you're complaining?
It feels like it's been like a month.
Yeah, because your time perception is fucked up when it comes to sex.
This is Kicking and Screaming, episode 2.
The honeymoon.
Thanks for tuning in.
Again. Or the first time. Hi.
Hi. And Jenna decided she wanted to mix everything up today and not put out.
Whatever. I put out 2 kids. You should be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm totally happy about that, but it would have been nice if you would have delivered the goods.
Sure. You got it last night, may I remind you?
Yeah.
We've been together for how long?
22 years coming up this February.
Right.
Pretty good, huh?
And you got it last night.
Yeah, but it feels...
I fucked you last night.
Whoa, there's grandmothers that listen to this, and Canadians.
Right.
So I need you to bring it down with the
Okay.
language. We were talking about what kind of stuff we could talk about for episode 2 with our podcast, Kicking and
I
Screaming.
believe that was part of our foreplay last night.
Was it? Oh, yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, maybe it was.
Or it was part of our... What's it called afterwards?
Post-play?
Nah.
No. Cleanup? And Jenna mentioned our honeymoon. Jenna and I were married February 18th, 1995.
Wow.
Wow.
He scratched his head, by the way, like he almost forgot, and then he reached up and scratched his head to get him through the moment, and then he got it.
No, I got it. I'm there.
Don't scratch too hard.
And it was a good wedding. Went off without incident.
Yep.
And
except you didn't look at me when you said your vows.
I was trying to get it right. Who was it?
You said your vows to the minister.
Well,
and I was squeezing your hands so hard, digging my nails into your palms to try to get you to look at me while you said your vows. He didn't look at me till the end. Like the last sentence, he looked at me and actually said the vow to my face.
What it was... So
Here we go. Are you ready for a 10-hour dissertation, listeners? I'm going to sit back and let him go.
What actually happened here is I was nervous because I just was nervous. And I wanted to do it right. So what I was trying to really concentrate on what the minister was saying to me. Like, you have to say all those complicated words back. And I wanted to get it right, and I'm not good with memorization.
You don't have to memorize it. He's saying it to your face.
Yeah, but then you have to hear it, memorize it, and say it back to your wife or your husband, and I just wanted to get it right. That's all. So I was just trying to get it right. So isn't that important?
You have to evaluate purposes, though. What's more important, getting it right or like actually communicating to me?
Getting it right for me was more important because all my friends were there. And then we went to Jamaica for our honeymoon.
To a really obscure...
very high-end.
Obscure, unique boutique resort called Sandals.
Sandals. A lot of you probably haven't heard of it.
It's like the McDonald's of resorts.
Oh my God, it was pretty horrendous.
No, it was good for us at the time, and it was great. A lot of people enjoy Sandals.
This podcast is brought to you by Sandals, the McDonald's of resorts.
And we were right next to hedonism.
So for those that don't know, there's a really trashy resort in Jamaica.
It's not trashy.
Called Sandals.
It's not trashy. It's
not
just there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
That's all.
It's over billion.
It's not trashy.
Over billions. Over
8 billion service.
Over 8 billion drunken white people served. And across the beach was this resort called Hedonism, which is basically... So this is
it wasn't across. It was right next door.
Well, like the bay kind of curved around, so you could kind of like... It looked like a cross.
No, it wasn't. It was right next door.
I don't need to get a geographical workout from here on how the Jamaican landscape it looks. Let me just tell my fucking story.
All right. I think your memory's a little skewed because of your experiences there, which we'll get to.
I think your obsession with having to correct my stories. By the way, something to note here. My wife will not or cannot let me finish a fucking joke.
Because you embellish and get it wrong.
She can't.
And I feel a duty to listeners.
No, it's unbelievable. I could be in the middle of a joke, and it could be the person listening could be like just absolutely riveted and totally into it. And right at the punchline, Jenna will go, and it was a duck. It was a duck. Like right at the fucking end. Like she can't let me finish a joke ever. She also can't let me finish stories. She also can't let me... You know what it is? Is because we didn't make love this morning, I'm all pent up. I'm all like kind of hyper excited right now. So...
I'm just letting you talk.
Yeah, that works really good on
letting you hang.
You know what? Here's a
Dead
little,
air.
Here's a little lesson for you. Silent, resentful wife doesn't look good on a podcast. It's like you may be able to give me really great looks, but
hey, there's silence. Silence can be a punchline.
Mean, resentful.
All right, let's
wife
get back to
doesn't
hedonism.
play. So there was this resort right next to where we were at Sandals called Hedonism, and really what it was like the spring break of resorts. So we would be sitting on the beach, with different couples enjoying a drink, and across the way you would hear the sounds like, oh my God, that's amazing. Of like people getting drunk and having a great time.
And lots of G-strings.
Oh my God.
Worn by people who, some is okay, but most shouldn't have been in G-strings.
You would see these middle-aged white girls walk from Hedonism over to our resort with their Jamaican friends that they had met, and it would be like these gorgeous 6'3" black guys with their banana sack, like their package, just barely being held together by their own little male G-string. And you got the impression that these women were having experiences that they would be able to tell their grandkids when they got home.
That they would not be able to tell their grandkids.
Yeah, maybe not. So we stayed at Sandals, and it was a...
Okay, well, which incident should we address first? Let's address our arrival.
Okay.
Okay, because Bodhi's a control freak. And I mean...
By control freak, do you mean that I like things to go well?
You're manic about your desire for things to go well.
Whoa, manic? Whoa, what? Manic? Okay,
would you like me to come up with a different adjective?
No, fine, go with manic. I'm just going to stare at you silently throughout the rest of the podcast.
Okay, he's obsessed with things going right and really well organized. He's hyper obsessed.
Am I good
with controlling everything so that there's nothing doesn't go wrong?
Am I good with making things go right?
You are,
yeah.
But
why is it?
No. But the experience for others along the way can be kind of unpleasant. But you don't ever see that because you're so zeroed into your obsession with things going right. You don't see all of us with like the back of our hairs, the hair on the back of our neck standing up.
Okay. On the other end,
I love you so much.
On the other end of the spectrum is Jenna, who
let's sum it up.
It's fine.
Let's sum it up.
No, fuck it.
Okay, let's sum it up with this.
Button. Hang on.
So,
no, go ahead.
So getting all of the luggage in from the taxi you brought us to the airport to getting to the room and the very fine Jamaican men that were helping
from
us.
Episode 1 that my wife loves black guys. Just
Yes.
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that throughout that Jenna loves black guys and we're in black.
Is where they all are.
Yeah.
Like the best, most beautiful black men are in Jamaica.
You know I'm right here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was really enjoying my arrival to Jamaica. Meanwhile, Bodhi was like histrionic, which means kind of like being way too overly dramatic. I don't have my dictionary next to me, but that's basically what it means. About where is the suitcase? Do we have all the suitcases? Now, is this the right room? Is this the room we want? Is this the right... To the point where the Jamaican dude helping us get all settled into our room was like, it's okay, man. Just relax. He couldn't even take it, but he was so high strung about everything being perfect, and that was really embarrassing for me because I just wanted to run off with the Jamaican dude.
You're forgetting what he did.
What did he do?
He handed me a joint to tell me to relax.
I didn't see that part. I got handed joints when I landed.
Yeah.
When I walked off the airplane, I got handed.
That's
joints.
what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about the guy at the hotel.
I don't even remember that. I remember.
That's what I'm saying. You're not aware of what's going on around
you. You need to kiss my ass right now. This is not how I wanted this to go.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, Bodhi got us settled in, quote unquote.
My view of Jamaica is that it's a really beautiful country, but it's really filled with a lot of beautiful spirits who basically like to do nothing and get stoned all the time.
That's a generality.
No, but what I mean to say is that they hated a high-strung...
Who's they?
Anyone that was in Jamaica really hated the fact that it was like a high-strung, nervous, hysterical, whiny Jew.
Yeah, can you take some responsibility for that?
What I'm saying is I actually see their point of view on this.
There you go.
And that I kind of annoyed the Jamaicans.
All right, let's cut to the chase here.
What's the chase?
You know, we each have some interesting stories of things that occurred for us.
This trip was a really fucked up honeymoon for us. For me.
Well,
It was a
I
fucked up
tried
honeymoon
water
for me.
skiing for the first time ever.
Oh, yes. My wife got her first saltwater enema.
So
You're supposed to let go. When you crash, you're supposed to let go.
You're supposed to let go, guys.
She forgot to let
And
go.
I was so stunned that I had fallen. I was still holding on, and my ass was at water level, and I was being dragged, and water was shooting up my rear end. And by the time I got to shore, I had to, no joke, put my hands over my ass and run to my hotel room because I had gotten a full-on saltwater enema.
She was like...
And then I no longer, but earlier at that time, because you could lay topless.
Yes.
And I went topless.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And
My wife has a great rack.
my husband,
Yeah.
see, I applied sunscreen.
Oh, right.
Because I'm smart, and I don't think that I'm like an American Indian with olive skin when I'm not, like you.
Insanity since I was a boy.
I'm so glad you're acknowledging that.
No,
it's
it's
insane.
it's a form of insanity in that I do not apply sunscreen to my body, and I'm white like a marble countertop.
Yeah, you're pinkish.
Yeah.
And he didn't apply any sunscreen, totally thinking he has tons of melanin in his skin. So one day I'm laying out topless, sunning myself, my eyes closed, and I opened my eyes, and but you were really burned.
Yeah, I probably had a 3rd-degree burn. It was really fucked up.
So bad.
It was so fucked up.
And then he got a sinus infection.
I got a sinus infection. I had a 3rd-degree burn. Oh yeah, there's more. This was starting to be a really bad honeymoon for me. So I was holed up in my room
With a sinus infection, trying to get antibiotics.
trying to get antibiotics.
Like
and I'm
from a dependable source.
Understand by this point I'm already kind of high strung, I suppose. I guess.
Yeah, I think we've just well established.
So I guess you could imagine me sunburned. I mean, to the point where it's
bad.
dangerous.
Yeah, it was
dangerous. And a
dangerous.
sinus infection. You can imagine.
But when you get a
the level
sinus
I was at.
infection, you're like, no air conditioning, ah, no air, I'm like, ah.
I don't sound like a war victim.
You kind of are.
Unbelievable.
So he was stuck in his room.
Well,
so then
Jenna
he's stuck
is
in his
just
room,
going crazy with the locals, having an amazing time.
Yeah, and I was like, at night going out dancing while he's stuck in his room with a sinus infection. Then he's getting a little bit bored by day 2, and he decides to mosey over to the hair salon at the Sandals Resort to get his hair highlighted.
I wanted to get my cabbage lightened.
Oh my God. So now this is where I'm laying on the beach topless. My eyes are closed. I'm sunning. I open my eyes, and up he looks, his hair is yellow. It's like
Donald Duck yellow.
It's bad.
Donald Duck yellow.
Like he went in, had the Jamaican ladies, he thought they were going to give him highlights. And they bleached his hair out in the worst possible way. So now he has a bad sunburn, a sinus infection, and yellow hair sticking straight up. You have to think of the color. It's now fried.
You have to think of the color spectrum, right? Of the bright red face and the yellow hair. It was.
And the swollen sinuses.
It was fucking tropical. As I listened to you tell the story.
And then you wanted to make love to me all the time because we were on our honeymoon. So that's what was on top of me. Just for the visual of it all.
You weren't complaining. I took care of my business. But I realize now as I hear this story how possibly kind of fucking weird I can be at times. I don't want to say that I've made a full decision about myself or that I'm saying that as one big lump sum I'm a weirdo. But I guess, as I hear you tell the story, I guess there's some times in my life where I've really done some stupid things. Would this be one of them?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Jenna didn't fucking slow down a second on this trip. She went crazy. She went absolutely crazy. I mean, I to this day, I'm surprised I didn't have a mixed race kid after this.
Yeah, that was a little hard.
Yeah, she went after it.
I went for walks with them and went and picked coconuts.
I was in my room, sunburnt with a sinus infection and yellow hair.
I was like, you're not going to slow me down. I'm in Jamaica.
Fucking honeymoon.
Yeah.
So we got out of there.
No, wait. We have to talk about when we're in the lobby waiting for the taxi to pick us up to go to the airport.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, believe me, because to this day it's in my memory. So here's the thing. Jen and I, to this day, after 22 years of being together, we can't play Scrabble together. It's a rule, and it came from this trip.
We weren't playing Scrabble.
It's Scrabble.
No, it was not.
It's Scrabble.
It's backgammon, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck, it was backgammon.
See how adamant he can be? He's wrong. He's adamant, and he's wrong.
It was fucking backgammon. But now I'm going to come back to Scrabble.
I'm going to be silent and just let it lay on you.
See, the reason that I can't... I'm going to fucking erase this. I'm going to go back. Where's the pause button? The reason I can't play Scrabble with Jenna...
Because you can't
is because
spell.
I have... and I'm not exaggerating. I have a pretty big vocabulary. Like
that you're not exaggerating. You have a very big vocabulary.
But I spell like a 7-year-old... I spell like a 7-year-old kid who got in a car accident. Like, I spell really bad. I spell like a kid.
You don't even have common sense when you're spelling. Like,
No,
you can't even get common sense. Doesn't even enter in. Like,
no, it's like it's like a
there.
7-year-old that fell on his head. That's like in the special school. Like, I spell really bad.
You know why?
Why?
Because you weren't taught phonics. You were taught sight learning words.
Oh, you know why? Because you weren't taught fuck you.
Wow, that was a full-on fall on your head moment right there. I don't even know what you just said.
I was trying to tie in fuck you and phonics, and it didn't go well. So the reason we don't play Scrabble or backgammon comes from this Jamaican adventure. By the way, honey, I do love you.
I know. I love you too.
No, I love you. So the reason that we can't play is this. Backgammon. Or Scrabble.
And I'm really good at it.
It's the same. Oh, because Jenna spells amazing, and she doesn't have a quarter of the vocabulary that I have. So we're playing backgammon. We're waiting for the cab to pick us up to take us to the airport. I'm still burned pretty bad. My sinus infection is pretty fucked up, and I have Donald Duck yellow hair.
With Jamaican antibiotics.
Jamaican antibiotics in me. That I don't think we're. I think someone slipped me a Mickey. So. Every time Jenna would roll something good. Now, I want listeners...
This is backgammon.
Yeah, every time she'd roll like a good roll of the dice. Now, I want the listeners to roll up the windows of their cars or wherever they are and turn up the mic, turn up the volume. Here's what Jenna would do every time she rolled a good roll of the dice.
Or made a good play with my pieces.
Okay, so there'd be silence, and she would go... What it was a snide... fucking righteous, slow exhaling out of her nose of breath that would kind of resonate across the backgammon table to me.
I didn't even realize I was doing it.
And it was
a satisfied exhale through my nose.
She's sitting there. She rolls double sixes, quiet. It made me fucking crazy. Made me crazy.
Okay, so just know the game's going very well from my point of view. I'm killing him. And I don't even realize I'm doing this nose thing. It's not like something I'm doing on purpose at all. And then out of nowhere, we've been playing this game for 20 minutes, okay? Out of nowhere.
I haven't mentioned that she's slowly making me insane. Like,
he hasn't commented on it or highlighted it.
I'm thinking about killing her. I'm thinking, like, listen, I can probably bury the body in the sand. Like,
He out of nowhere goes like... like mocking me. And I looked at him, and he looks like he's psychotic. And I'm like, what is your problem? And he had a whole meltdown, psychotic fit like anger at me.
What's with the fucking slow exhalation of breath through your nose? Every time you roll something good with the dice, I have to hear about it in this snide little... Oh, my God. It makes me crazy. So
Does it still make you crazy?
Well, we don't play backgammon or Scrabble anymore.
Because we have children, that's why.
No, I think it's because I can't take the little slow fucking breath you take every time you roll something really good.
I think you just... No, never mind.
You know what's interesting is we don't really play a lot of games like board games or things like that. Like, we almost do none of those kind of things.
No. You're really fiddling with that knob over there, hon.
What do you mean by that? What knob?
The knob on the mixing thing.
It's the volume. I'm just making sure that we can be heard.
Control freak. Okay, so that was our honeymoon.
We still have pictures of us, and it looks pretty bad. I'm sunburned, yellow-haired, sinus infection.
And that was the beginning of our marriage.
Wow. Traveling married, I haven't found it to ever be fun.
No, we've had some really big doozy fights traveling.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We don't anymore, though, really.
Because we don't travel so much.
Together. We're always traveling independently.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to have been married for you this long.
You know, we did have a good... Yeah, me too, yeah. We did... we did have a funny one in Paris where the driver was drunk. The taxi cab driver was drunk.
Died in Paris.
He was drunk. And what did we finally do? Did we make him... Oh, because we were
going to get out of the car and just walk because we thought we were going to die.
Yeah, he was ripped.
Like, no joke.
Parisians. They don't think anything of that.
You have a thing against the French. I don't have it.
The
I don't
French
know
are
why.
fucking crazy. The French are fucking crazy, right?
I just want to say this is not there's a disclaimer. This is not an Elfman family point of view. I think the French are awesome.
Today's
I love
podcast
France.
Was brought to you by Sandals and the Parisian Board of Fuck You Tourism. You know what it is with the French?
What, honey?
Is that they're snobby, right?
No, they're not. You're making generalities.
Okay, so I don't hate.
There's like amazing French people. There's a lot of amazing art.
Okay,
and cultured people.
I should
and
clarify. You're right.
The women
You're
are
right.
like awesome
You're
because
right.
they pride themselves on being beautiful.
The Parisians, through my travels in France, I have found to be a bit
in the 80s.
In the 80s. Well, filming Back to the Future. What do you mean in the 80s?
That's when you spent all your magical time in France.
No, I went there. Oh, maybe No, I've been there since. That's not true. Because
I'm not saying you haven't been there since, but
that's where I spent most of my time there.
Your big decisions that you made about the French were in the 80s.
It's that they get crazy with the language. And then I tried really hard to speak French when I was there. And they would get really I would walk into a store and I would say like, "Oh, comment ça va? Qu'est-ce que tu fais?" And I would try to talk to them, and they would pretend as if I pronounced nothing.
Because you probably didn't.
No, I think I did do okay with the language, and the way that I was.
I think you all can probably figure out at this point that his view of himself and his actions are probably a little skewed from the observer's point of view. Okay.
So in my defense, half of my family is French, which is why I get to make these jokes, because I actually do love the French. They're actually my family. All of my brother is half French,
yes.
who was just here.
Yes.
And I love the French. But everyone's got to admit that the Parisians could be a bit, am I allowed to say annoying? Why aren't I allowed to say that?
It's just calling the kettle black. You can say whatever you want.
Because I'm annoying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. So because I'm annoying, I can't say it.
If you were more full of love for your fellow man, you wouldn't think they were annoying.
Whoa. I'm full of lots of love for my fellow man. Fucking Buddha over there.
You're full of lots of loving antagonism for your fellow.
That's not true. That's not true. The French can just... Okay, whatever. I'm not going to fucking sit here and go off on the French for another 20 minutes. I think I'm probably going to get a lot of tweets that's going to back me up about this, personally.
No, I think the French are going to send you a lot of antagonistic tweets.
I hope they do it in French.
And they should feel free to do so.
I hope they do it in
fully
French.
support you, French people. At Bodhi Elfman, BODHIELFMAN on Twitter. At Bodhi Elfman. French people, let it rip.
If you have stories of extreme annoyance about the French, at Jenna Elfman on Twitter. At Jenna Elfman on Twitter. Let's see who wins out on this. Let's see who has more tweets pro or con against the French. No, this isn't about the French.
This is about you and me, baby.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. It's about you and me. So we don't get to travel as much as we used to. And it's not because of the French, by the way. I didn't mean to say that. I meant that just with kids and... you ever find that you take a vacation and when you come back, you need a vacation from the vacation?
Of course.
Yeah, you get all you want to do is sit down in front of the TV and not do a thing.
Some people feel inspired when they come home from a vacation.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're such a fucking PR bullshit. You're so fucking full of PR. You're so fucking...
No, sometimes when I go on a vacation, I kind of don't want to come home when I've come home because I kind of I was in the environment. I calibrated to the environment I had been in. And then when I come home, I'm a little bit not wanting to reabsorb into my home environment again.
Yeah, I get that. Where you're
So I don't know if it's you need a vacation. You just need calibration time, I think.
I've had times where I've come back from vacation and I've needed to go to a spa day.
Right. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, got a spa day right now.
I'd love to go to the Korean spa right now and just have some chick dig into my ass muscles.
Are you kidding me? I would love to go to a Korean spa and dig into those ass muscles right now. Right now.
Are those ass muscles those of a cheerleader's?
No. I got so many weird replies about my wanting to fuck a cheerleader. comment from episode
So am
1.
I right?
I got as many.
I saw one person
Yeah.
who supported you on it. Other than that,
Oh no, I saw a few. I think wanting to fuck cheerleaders is a universal. By the
my
way, I mean
God.
college cheerleaders. I
oh
want
my
to really
God,
clarify.
honey. Jesus, fucking Christ, Jesus, enough! It's like ridiculous.
Okay, well, you shut me up. I don't have anything to say. I'll just stare at you silently for the rest of the podcast. This is our new podcast. You ready, ladies and gentlemen? Here's how Kicking and Screaming will go from here on out. It's just Jen and I staring at each other silently with resentment. 22 years of resentment about Parisians, Jamaicans, and cheerleaders.
Silence.
Silence.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Yeah.
No, I really do.
Thank you. Can we make love right now?
No.
Thanks for tuning in.